Hey, what's up? What's up? Joe in Vegas back with another review. Does it get bigger than this? AC motherfucking DC. AC/DC. Been waiting for this for a long time. Now we're back in my wheelhouse. I go to a lot of shows, a lot of stuff that, I wouldn't say is my favorite type of music, but I do appreciate the music, and a lot of times it's surprising, and I'm very happy to go to a lot of shows. But, when you start getting into the Guns N' Roses, Metallica, AC/DCs, that's my jam, whatever the kids say these days. That's what I grew up with. That's, to me, where it all starts and where it all ends. Everything else to me is just other stuff. To me, this is music. And I don't think with the Zeppelin, maybe, I just don't think, and it's a different sound. When it comes to heavy metal, heavy rock, I don't think there's anybody bigger than AC/DC. The impact that they've had, the timeless nature of these songs. I mean, it's fucking nuts. I grew up in an era where, I remember, AC/DC was, in the news when Richard Ramirez and the Night Stalker, that they're the devil music and they should be banned and they should have warning labels. And now, I see it in Marvel movies and commercials for Marvel movies, and it's amazing how that transformed over the last 40 years. But that being said, there is no denying the timeless sound that they create. It is those guitar riffs, that sound, that raw heavy metal crunching guitars, it's so good and it's so addictive. And I don't care if you don't like rock and roll. It's impossible to hear something like Back in Black and not appreciate, fuck, this is fucking good. This moves me in a certain way. Or any of the songs, not just Back in Black. And there's so many songs. They have so many songs. There's been a lot going on with AC/DC. Let's see. I don't need to get into the whole backstory. This is a review of the show, not AC/DC. But most people know. I don't know. I think it's disputed on whether Brian was kicked out of the band or he left the band. First they said he was kicked out. Now they're saying it was a temporary thing. Axl took over. Brian came back, they did the power up, and they toured Europe, and everybody was kind of waiting for them to tour America, and they finally announced, I believe, 10 or 12 dates, and luckily for me, one of them was Las Vegas, and it was last night. Let's get into this fucking show, because it really was unbelievable. It's really larger than life. They're larger than life. I realized last night, not that I never paid attention. Everybody knows Angus wears the schoolboy outfit and stuff like that. But when they came out last night, and I've seen them twice. I saw them once when I was maybe 10 or 12 years old back in L.A. I forgot which tour it was, but Faster Pussycat opened for them in L.A. And then I saw them. They were in Vegas maybe 10 years ago on a Super Bowl weekend. I remember that, and I saw them there. Both times were incredible. But when they came out, there's things in rock and roll that are very iconic. Slash with his hat. When you see Slash come out with that top hat and his low-hanging Les Paul and he's playing a solo, it's almost cartoonish. Same thing with Kiss. When Kiss comes out in that makeup, the first time I saw Kiss, which was only 5 or 6 years ago, and they came out in full makeup, you become breathless. It's almost they're cartoon characters. They're larger than life. It's wild. And when they came out, and Angus comes out in that schoolboy outfit, and he's doing the kicks, and Brian's wearing his hat and his sleeveless shirts and stuff like that, I never realized how important those iconic. I'm not going to use the word costumes because they're not costumes, but that iconic look that they have. It's really you get chills down your spine. You are watching AC/DC, and they are wearing. Angus is kicking his little feet and going across the stage. He's wearing his little schoolboy outfit, and it sounds so gay, right? He's wearing his little schoolboy outfit, but it's stuck and it's awesome and it's iconic. And Brian just starts screaming, and you're just this is AC/DC. So when they come out. There's very few bands that do that to me. That it happened last night. I just felt I was speechless. I just oh my God, you get immediate chills. I am watching AC/DC live, and the second you hear those guitars, and they go right into it. Let's get into the set list. They start with If You Want Blood, You Got It, and then they go right into Back in Black. So they out of the gate, the second you hear that guitar, you are holy shit. I am in a stadium with 70,000 people. And you hear that the sound that was coming off. Normally, I still think the sound at Allegiant sucks, but I think all stadiums suck. But it's so big. It's such a big, beautiful sound coming out of that band. It's awesome. So Back in Black was exactly how you would imagine it. Demon Fire, shot down in flames. Then Thunderstruck, which is becoming over time one of my favorite AC/DC songs. I mean, the intro to that, it's always been amazing, but it's really growing on me. Have a Drink on Me, Hell's Bells, the big bell comes down, they start doing the dong, dong, dong. And then you get into Hell's Bells, which also, the opening to that it's cinematic. Is that the right word? It's haunting. It's such a amazing, timeless, haunting sound that they put off stage. Oh, it's so good, man. Shot in the Dark, Stiff Upper Lip, Highway to Hell, Shoot to Thrill. So this, around here, so I'll tell you what I was surprised about. I've seen a lot of videos of Angus over the last couple of years, and honestly, he looks like a frail, old little man. Brian always looks the same, burly, whatever it was. I was totally expecting Angus to kind of be sitting in the corner and Brian to be handling the weight of the whole AC/DC experience, if whatever you want to call it. And I think it was the opposite. I actually think Brian was struggling with his vocals. Halfway through, you could hear it. He was starting to really, like, his voice was starting to crack pretty. I mean, it's always cracky, but it's like he couldn't even get the notes out. I was like, holy shit, I don't even know if he could finish the show. Like, I had that thought. But Angus, wow. I don't know what they shot him up with. I don't know how much fucking coke they put back there. I don't know what the hell. I turned to my friend. I said, dude, he looks possessed. He looked possessed. When he hit that stage, he was not a frail old man. He was Angus from 40 years ago, sweating, dancing, running up and down. It's a big stage. Running, going crazy, dropping on the floor, doing spins with the guitar, doing his kick dance all the time across the stage. But it was that look. I think they say, I don't know, but the saying is like people don't age in their eyes. So staring at the screen, and when it's shot on Angus's face and you're looking at his eyes, he still has that rock and roll fire in him. He looks like a little old frail guy, but goddamn, you put a guitar in that guy's hand and you put him in front of a crowd. I was blown away by Angus. I really was. Really, really fucking impressed. Shoot to Thrill, Sin City, Rock and Roll Train. I mean, these songs are just all incredible. Dirty D's Done Dirt Cheap, High Voltage, Riff Raff. This is now, when he got into Shook Me All Night Long, this is where I really got worried about Brian's voice. He sounded, on this song specifically, I don't know if it was the key or whatever it was, he sounded terrible. I really thought, like, I don't know if this guy can finish the show. But it's still, the beauty that he has is he's not, Adele. He doesn't need to hit every note perfectly. Because of his style of singing, even if he's screeching, it still freaking works. And he was screeching and he was gargling, but he was getting it out. And like I said, I think Angus took the weight of it all on him, because Angus, you couldn't take your eyes off of him. It was incredible. Whole lot of Rosie, and then they closed out with Let There Be Rock, and then that went into, at this point, I keep saying it, I was blown away by Angus. And then he went into his guitar solo. I mean, who closes out a show with a guitar solo? Angus Young does. That guitar solo is probably 15, 20 minutes maybe. And again, this is after a hour and a half, 2 hour show. He's got to be 75. I don't know how old he is. Should I ask Alexa? Let's ask. Alexa, how old is Angus Young? I think it said 70. It's too far away. 70 or 71 it said. He is, I'm tired. I'm 49. I'd be tired at this point already. He kicked it up a notch on that guitar solo. I have gone to thousands of shows. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. It kept going. He kept going. Like I said, the word that kept sticking in my head was possessed. He looked like he was possessed by like a rock and roll devil. Like, just unbelievable. It was incredible to watch. They closed the show with that. They came back for the encore. They did T.N.T., which is, I love that song. And then they got into For Those About to Rock, We Salute You. They brought out the cannons. They've been doing it for years. And, when they hit the part with the fire and they shoot the cannons off, and just closed out the show. Started at about 8:30. It finished at probably 10:45. And it never let down. It never slowed down. There was never a dull moment. I was a little surprised Brian barely talked, either of them. I don't think Angus said one thing to the crowd. Brian barely talked to the crowd. They don't have to. There's certain bands, they don't have to talk to the crowd. They talk with their music. Those guitar riffs is everything you need to hear from the band. It was perfection. It's very expensive. I got lucky. I got in on right when it went on sale. The face values of the tickets were not bad. I think I paid like $250 a ticket. I was in section 113, which I like. But I know on resale value they went pretty high. As I can imagine, people travel for this because there's only so many shows. So Vegas, more than other cities, is a great destination. If you're going to go travel to see an AC/DC show, why not go to Vegas? Why go somewhere else? So tickets were solid. The show was great. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to put 9.8. I think so. I think it was that good. Almost perfect. I think if Brian's voice was stronger, they skipped a couple songs too, which I would have loved to hear, but you can't. I'm not complaining about that. There's no way. It's one of those bands. They have so many songs. If they wanted to play everything, it would have been a 3-hour show, and obviously they couldn't do. Well, Angus might have been able to do it, but really an incredible experience. I know it's expensive. I know there's limited dates wherever you are in the country. If you have a chance to travel just a few hours, do it. It's the same fucking speech I'm giving in all my reviews. Look at my last 3 reviews. They're all old people. These guys are old. There's only so much they can do. I think I walked out of there thinking if this is the last time I ever saw AC/DC, I'm happy. I hope not. It's they are really they are on the Mount Rushmore, no doubt about it. They are, Black Sabbath. Ozzy's on his way out. They're doing a show this summer. I know. You take these bands, Sabbath and AC/DC and Zeppelin. We're at the end of them. We're at the end of this era. So if you get a chance to see them, go see them. Don't worry about the fucking money. I know. It's rough times. Eggs are expensive. Tortilla chips are expensive. But, these are memories, man. And you should die. I saw a thing. It said you should die with memories, not with dreams. I love that. Don't sit around and dream of seeing AC/DC once in your life. Go out and make the memory, whatever the fuck it costs. Who cares? Life is short. Go spend money. Go get the AC/DC tickets. Go buy the stupid flashy horns and go put them on your head like a moron in the show and just have the best fucking time of your life, because that's what 70,000 people, including myself, did last night. I had the best fucking time of my life. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. If you were there, leave some comments, subscribe. I got to start telling people to subscribe at the beginning because I don't know who makes it to the end of these. But thanks for listening. I appreciate it, and I will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.